do is take you into this week's assignments in case you happen to miss one of our Zoom sessions. So I'm going to start here with the very first one, categorizing by types of businesses, and we're going to go inside this assignment. And when you go inside the assignment, it's going to tell you to look at the list below. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up in Google Docs so we're seeing the same thing. So it's taking a little bit longer. So looking at the list below, read, decide, and write the name of each business in the correct column. Sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, or franchise. So each one of these will only be used one time. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at Davy's Dog Walking Service. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to highlight Davy's Dog Walking Service. I am going to cut it. And then I know that that is a sole proprietorship. Well, how do I know? Well, I'm looking at the name. It says it belongs to Davy's. Well, Davy's indicates to me that that is a one-person business, which means it would be a sole proprietorship. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to McDonald's. And we've already discussed McDonald's. We know that it is a franchise. So what I'm going to do is cut it. And then I am going to paste it under franchise. And you'll continue to do that until you have all of them completed. So if you're in the Zoom session, we're going to do this together as a class. And when I say we're going to do it together as a class, I'm going to allow you to work with your classmates. And then we're going to share our responses to make sure that you have the information correct, because you are going to be tested on this later this month. So if you have kind of forgotten what a sole proprietor, partnership, franchise, or a corporation is, you can scroll down and it'll refresh your memory with the descriptions below, but you will only use each one time. So nothing will be used twice. So McDonald's will only be used one time. It'll be under franchise. For example, Richards and Goins Medical Practice, obviously that is a partnership because there's two names in it. I do want to point out to you, LP stands for Limited Partnership. And if you are not familiar with what 7-Eleven is, 7-Eleven is a franchise convenience store. So we used to have 7-Elevens here in Wilmington. There are not any anymore, but if you've traveled, you may have seen a 7-Eleven. So in case you do not know what it is a convenience store, a franchise. So that would take care of our first lesson. Let's move to our next lesson for this week, which is comparing business organizations. I'm going to go ahead and open this worksheet up so you can see it. And it's telling you to list an advantage and a disadvantage of each type. So I want you to go back here for just a minute, because when you click in there, there's not any instructions. Your instructions are here. Using the information we have covered in class, big hint, use the PowerPoint. That'll help a lot. Complete the attached worksheet. You should include at least 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages. So 2 advantages of a sole proprietorship, 2 disadvantages of a sole proprietorship. So here's an example. I'm going to go ahead and give you one. Easy, make sure that I don't make my A capital. Easy to start. And that's one. So now I'm going to do a disadvantage, unlimited liability. Your PowerPoint will be a big help on this, and if you've been following the other lessons along, you probably remember some of the stuff without looking it up on the PowerPoint, but you can use the PowerPoint that is already in Google Classroom. So now we have unlimited liability, and you do the same thing. Keep in mind, I only gave you 1. You're supposed to do 2. And if you continue to go down, you'll see there's some other questions. Name some similarities between sole proprietorships and partnerships. I'm going to give you an example of one. Easy to start, because both of them are easy to start. So what I've given you here is one similarity. What I'm looking for is at least 2. So easy to start is 1. I'm going to go ahead and give you another one. And ironically, it's going to be the same thing that's already up there listed as an advantage or a disadvantage. Now we've taken care of that one. And I want you to continue on down Keeping in mind that the PowerPoint will be very helpful in getting this information. Just continue to go down and answer each one, listing at least 2 things for each one, and that will take care of that assignment. And if you're in the Zoom sessions, then yes, we will work together in groups. And moving to the next assignment, this is your project partnership flyer, which is the one that we discussed last week. That is where you are going to be working on a flyer just like we did with our sole proprietorship. It's just carried over into next week because this is a little more lengthy assignment. So you should have already started it last week and finishing it up this week. And that is where you're coming up with a flyer based on a partnership business. So just like we did with the sole proprietorship, only difference is now, is it a partnership business? And if you remember from last week, I gave you some samples here. And I also told you that if you had a different business that you wanted to let me know about, to ask me, and we'd see if you could use that as your partnership business. And that'll take care of your 3 assignments for this week. And if time permits, then we'll use the end of the week to do a Kahoot review. So if you've got any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you on Zoom.